Rayzr. Hey, this is Sketchin with Rayzr, and today I'm drawing some fan art for a 3D platformer video game called Corn Kidz 64. It's an indie title similar to the 3D platformer Nintendo 64 days. This time you play as a goat kid named Sieve. His name is spelled S-E-V-E, so I assume it's Sieve, like Steve but without the T. Whatever. The story itself is a little bit trippy but very relatable, because it's about a dude in a dream, I believe, and all he wants to do is get some nachos. But in order to get these nachos, he has to go through all these dangerous antics, platforming, and enemies. Which I really respect, because the only thing that I want from the movie theaters these days are the nachos, despite having to pay like freaking $70 for tickets and nachos. For the most part, the game was a breeze, and the controls are a little bit wonky. I think the most frustrating thing in this game that I had to deal with was in regards to the process of coming back from the game over screen after losing all your health. The process usually involves losing all your health, watching the animation of a character, reaching out, dropping their arms, fading to black, fading out to a corn in the center of the screen, then a prompt for whether you want to continue or quit. I understand that this process is in reference to the old games that would do something very similar, but this was very frustrating for me because I had difficulties with the platforming in the final level of the game. And every time I lose my health, of course I have to go through the whole process all over again. Regardless, I managed to beat the game. If I had $1 for every time I played a goat protagonist in a video game, I'd have $2. The environment is a little bit warped and kind of trippy, and the characters look like they came straight out of a dream. Speaking of characters, by far one of the weirdest looking characters in this game is this giant owl dude. And this is primarily because his eyes are extending way beyond his face. And they also look really red and kind of painful. Then again, I kind of feel that pain because allergy season is scorching my eyes. Anyways, in terms of the art piece, I want to do something dynamic. Later on in the game, you can transform the horn on the character into a sort of drill. And you can drill through these big dirt patches or even the ground itself. So I decided to draw a sieve, drill, and burst through a wall with debris coming towards the camera. But I initially had difficulties with it because I couldn't get a good grasp on the horn in perspective initially until I looked up some more images to sort of get this spiral effect going downwards and away from the camera towards the head of the character. Despite the reference, I sort of eyeballed it. So what I did was draw two circles and place them on top of each other to give a sort of 3D perspective. Then I duplicated and shrunk those same circles on top of the previous circles that I had drew before doing that again, but this time expanding it. That way you go from small to large as an object is coming towards the camera, like foreshortening. Then I drew a dot in the middle of the top circle and sort of eyeballed how it would look going away from the camera, drawing a line from the center of the top circles to the edges of the smaller circles to give a sort of cone shape. And then from there, I just drew a spiral going from the bottom towards the top of the cone. I definitely eyeballed it. Not quite sure if the screw looks correct or not in a foreshortened perspective, but you guys can of course tell me that. And then from there, I added a glow to the character, some motion blur to give the impression that the debris and the character himself are moving forward, and to give the impression of heat coming from the grinding of the drill. Added a glowing red effect in a spiral from the entrance of the wall that Sieve burst through. And other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a good one. Make sure to keep your mind, body, and soul razor sharp. Rayzr.